Boy, he was good, but Darling was even better. I mean, they were so freaking.
Joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Monday afternoon. I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Meteorologist Bianchi with a look at that forecast. We are looking at that potential for a few storms around. In fact, starting to see some of those in the foothills just outside of Boulder. It's pretty ominous, pretty stormy looking there right now. We'll have gusty winds as our primary hazard, but some lightning and some downpours possible with those storms here as well. There's a look at Lookout Mountain at those storms. And again, that is a mean looking sky, no doubt about it there on the left-hand side of your screen. That is the cluster of storms up by kind of Gold Hill, up Cold Creek Canyon a little bit, up by Netherland. That is what you're looking at on the left-hand side of your screen. So if you join me from Boulder, just got a text from a friend there saying it's looking pretty mean. Yeah, that's what you're looking at, that storm. I'll show you that in radar in just a second. And you can see it from Denver as well. Temperatures mid-70s right now here in town, but those temperatures going to be less of a story. It's going to be more of those skies, which are certainly, again, looking on the mean side right now west of town. And that's going to lead that potential for a few storms for us, including maybe some disruptions to the Bronco game later on tonight. 6:15 kickoff at Empower Field at Mile High. I suspect the majority of those storms will be before the game, but still a chance to get one or two of those during the game. That would, of course, disrupt things. NFL rules, lightning delay within a 10-mile, if there's lightning within 10 miles of a radius of the stadium, they have to delay things for at least a half hour. Temperature is 70s right now, 60s in the mountains, but the stories, those thunderstorms that are starting to develop over the Palmer Divide, as well as in the foothills, starting to get a bit of a mean look to the sky there in Boulder, as well as Broomfield. In fact, kind of taking a slightly, let's see if we can get this slightly closer look in here, here at the storm just outside of Boulder. And again, that is up by Netherland and along the kind of peak-to-peak highway there. We're seeing some storms. So just keep in mind that those storms will have the potential for some pretty good downpours, some lightning, maybe even some small hail and gusty winds with that. And then also here on the Palmer Divide around Monument Hill, getting down through Black Forest, as well as on up by Larkspur, seeing some of those storms out here along Highway 83 right now as well. Today, 77 for us, scattered afternoon showers and storms. 30% coverage with those storms between 4 and 7 p.m. And those storms will be around between, again, 4 and 7 p.m. Gusty winds and lightning are primary concerns. And also, again, of course, that storm that could disrupt the game tonight, but any storm would be on the early side for us. Closer look in, again, Denver area. Most of those storms, even though we're seeing some of the action right now in the foothills, most of the action will be a little later as those storms push in from the south. So it'll take a little time. But as we have over the next few hours, we will have some storms around again, maybe around kickoff, so just keep an eye on that. And then second half of the game, if we had a delay, it'd be brief. It would be gusty winds, lightning, and by 7:30, those storms should clear out pretty quickly. So again, I'm not too worried about the game tonight, but keep in mind, again, there's going to be that chance for a storm. Definitely bring the poncho with you if you're going to the game tonight. I'm going. Definitely have the rain gear with me, and I'm sure plenty of you will as well, just in case we get that storm. About a 30% chance, a 3 out of 10 chance that we get the storm around kickoff tonight, probably just before. Gusty winds, the main hazard with any storm that we see, and then those winds clear out pretty quickly tonight. Otherwise, very pleasant evening. We'll drop down in the 60s and eventually the 50s for us tonight. 40s, 50s, eastern plains, 30s and 40s in the high country. And that weather pattern, high pressure will back in from the east, and that will bring us some warmer temperatures for us as we head over the next few days. And that will bring us also a lot of drier weather as well. Tomorrow, upper 70s for us in Denver, just a 20% chance for an afternoon shower or storm, generally on the drier side for tomorrow. And that 7-day forecast overall on the warm side, but we got a notable cool down and some more widespread showers and storms for us next weekend, starting on Saturday. By the way, the wind from that could bring down some of those fall leaves, so just keep in mind those fall leaves probably going to be best as we head over the next few days if that front does come through, it could bring down some of those leaves. So best spots this weekend, probably a little lower down. This past weekend was most likely the peak for most of the main areas. Guanella, Kenosha Pass, Peak to Peak Highway, Indian Peaks Wilderness. Again, a lot of the usual spots will have probably just peaked, but a little lower down. Golden Canyon State Park, for example, Mount Sanitas, just outside of Boulder. Those areas will probably be the main spots to check out. Again, maybe just slightly lower down for next weekend. So top line takeaways, some storms around tonight, otherwise drying and warming. And then next weekend, some pretty big changes ahead for us. We'll have more details on this as we get later on through the day. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin will have more for you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family Networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Weather and Team Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday.